Just consider donating your old one to WNYC. You'll get a tax deduction, and we'll turn your old car into the WNYC programs you love and rely on. We'll even tow it away for free. Find out more about donating your car at WNYC.org/car.
WNYC receives support from Barbara Cook, Then and Now, a musical memoir conceived by James Lapine and directed by Tommy Tune, starring Barbara Cook. 66 performances beginning April 12th at New World Stages. Tickets at barbaracookThenandNow.com. WNYC listeners really listen and respond. They call in, post comments, and support the businesses they learn about on our air. Find out how to become a WNYC corporate sponsor at wnyc.org/sponsor.
This week's Puzzle with Will Shortz is coming up next. You're listening to Weekend Edition on WNYC. Good morning, I'm David First. Nearly a decade after calling it quits, Justin Vivian Bond and Kenny Melman are reviving their cabaret duo, Kiki and Herb. Known for their irreverence and sometimes their rage, Kiki is a drunk over-the-hill lounge singer. Herb, her long-suffering piano player. Before they broke up, they had gone from performing in small clubs to Broadway and Carnegie Hall. Studio 360 guest host Molly Ringwald spoke with the two performers about reuniting.
And now Kiki and Herb have always been so politically charged. What is it about what's going on now politically and socially that we can expect Kiki and Herb to tap into?
Well, I like to joke that in 2008 when we stopped performing, it was right when Obama got in, and he ran on, the audacity of hope, and who wants to see Kiki and Herb when they have hope?
Right. It was a hopeless situation that led to Kiki and Herb having an audience.
Right now, I'm fairly sure people are wondering what the hell's going on, so it's a kind of a hopeless moment, so I think it's fantastic timing for us to bring those characters back.
Kiki and Herb will be performing in April at Joe's Pub at the Public Theater. You can hear the entire conversation at studio360.org and at wnyc.org. 43 degrees, cloudy skies in New York City. We're going to see a little bit of a clearing this afternoon and a high around 53 degrees. Tonight, more clouds, rain and fog likely, a low around 44 degrees, and we're expecting some more rain and areas of fog during the day tomorrow, warmer with a high near 57 degrees.
Support for NPR comes from member stations and from American Jewish World Service, working for 30 years to end poverty and advance human rights worldwide. Learn more at ajws.org. And the estate of Joan B. Kroc, whose bequest serves as an enduring investment in the future of public radio and seeks to help NPR produce programming that meets the highest standards of public service in journalism and cultural expression.
This is Weekend Edition from NPR News. I'm Linda Wertheimer. Now, we don't have any baskets, we don't have plastic grass, but get ready to start hunting for answers, because it's time for the puzzle. Joining me now is Will Shortz. He's puzzle editor of the New York Times and Weekend Edition's puzzle master. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Linda. Welcome back.
Thank you. And we should add to your credits that you are also the founder of the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament, which is just about to happen.
Yeah, it's just a week away. And sometime, Linda, you have to come up. That would be wonderful.
That would be terrifying for me.
Well, we have a special guest this year, Peter Sagal from Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. He'll be doing playoff commentary in the finals.
In the meantime, remind us what last week's challenge was.
Yes, it came from listener Andrew Chaikin of San Francisco. I said, think of a common 9-letter word that contains 5 consecutive consonants. I said, take 3 consecutive consonants out of these 5 and replace them with vowels to form another common 9-letter word. The answer was strengths to strenuous.
We got about 500 right answers this week. Our lucky winner is Robert Schwartz of Atlanta, Georgia. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So how did you find the answer this week?
Well, my last name is Schwartz. It's an 8-letter word with only one vowel in it. So,
does that make you a specialist?
Well, it does, because the word strength is an 8-letter word with only one vowel in it. So I thought of strength almost right away. dropped a few consonants out, and there was strenuous. Honest to God, it was almost the first word I thought of.
Whoa.
Congratulations. I understand you have something you want to ask Will?
I do. Will and I attended the same school in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we have both been members of championship softball teams. Now, everybody knows that Will is a puzzler and a big player of table tennis. I wanted to ask him, does he still play softball?
Yeah, I'll tell you, my third year of law school at University of Virginia, they started a softball league, and I was lucky enough to be on the winning team. But alas, I don't play softball anymore.
You know, I didn't know you were a lawyer. My view of you is changing. I'm not sure for the better.
Which way, yeah.
Well, Robert, are you ready to play?
I am.
And Will, are you ready?
I am. Robert and Linda, every answer today consists of a 5-letter word said twice in 2 different meanings. For example, if I said a device for moving Raggedy Ann and similar toys, you would say dolly dolly.
A dolly dolly.
Number 1, a lamp that doesn't weigh much.
That would be a light.
Uh-huh. The correct one of the first 10 amendments to the Constitution.
I would think that would be a right.
Uh-huh. One who studies the center of the eye.
A pupil.
Uh-huh.
You're really good at this.
An icky group of 144 things.
Gross.
That's it. A person imposing better financial penalties.
A finer.
Oh, that's good.
Nothing could be finer than to be a finer.
There you go. A horse carriage that lots of things about it don't really work.
Huh.
A horse
Not
carriage?
a sulky.
No, that is 5 letters, but that's not it. A horse carriage, like a rural one, an informal one.
That was hard. Not a wagon or a broke.
The first letter is B.
Buggy?
Buggy is it. A group of directors at a sawmill.
Wow. A group of directors at a sawmill.
Your dog is trying to help.
Oh my goodness.
Like the executives.
I see. They would be the board.
That's it. And here's your last one. Sound made when prisoners toast each other with their glasses.
That would be a clink.
Oh, bravo.
I'm just dazzled by your performance. It was really quite remarkable.
Nobody bats 1,000, but I came close. Will, did you bat 1,000?
I never batted 1,000, no.
So, Robert, for playing our puzzle today, you get a weekend edition lapel pen as well as puzzle books and games, and you can read all about it at npr.org/puzzle. What is your public radio station, Robert?
WABE 90.1 here in Atlanta. Has been for many, many years.
Robert Schwartz of Atlanta, Georgia, thank you very much for playing the puzzle.
Thank you.
So, Will, what is the challenge for next week?
Yes. Well, the University Press of New England has just published a book by Paul Lewis. He's a professor of English at Boston College, and the book is called The Citizen Poets of Boston, a collection of forgotten poems, 1789 to 1820. And there's a chapter devoted to puzzles and poetic form. Now, most of the puzzles in this book are explained, but there's one puzzle that never had a printed answer, and I'd like to see if the collective brain power of NPR listeners can be brought to bear to clear up this mystery. It's a 2-line verse from the November 12, 1803 issue of Boston Weekly Magazine. And here it is. I am both man and woman too, and go to school as good boys do. I'll select what I think is the best answer that's submitted, and if no one sends in what I think is the intended answer, then I'll pick what I consider the most ingenious one, whether it's correct or not. So here's the riddle again. I am both man and woman too, and go to school as good boys do.
So when you have that answer, go to our website, npr.org/puzzle, and click on the Submit Your Answer link. Just 1 entry per person, please, and our deadline for entries is Thursday, March 31st at 3 p.m. Eastern. Please include a phone number where we can reach you at about that time, and if you are the winner, we'll give you a call, and you'll get to play on the air with the puzzle editor of the New York Times and Weekend Edition's puzzle master, Will Shorts. Thanks, Will.
Thank you, Linda.
The new movie, Miracles from Heaven, is one the industry calls a faith-based film. Risen and War Room are others. Christianity does seem to be doing pretty well at the box office, and producer Devon Franklin is making the most of a faithful audience. But as NPR's Andrew Limbong reports, Franklin doesn't need movies to be preaching.
He's got that already covered with his side gig.
Why is it important to celebrate your God?
This is Franklin preaching at one church in Los Angeles.
Because you've been going through hell all week long?
The same year my father died was the same year that my uncle, Dr. DJ Williams, started our local church, an independent ministry called Wings of Love. And that was the church that I really grew up in and really got more exposure to the gifts that I had, the talent.
Like preaching. And he says the church taught him other things too. Discipline, accountability, dressing well. These are things he brought with him to the movie biz. That and faith. Quick story, at 23, he had a good job as an assistant at a production company called Overbrook Entertainment. Overbrook was co-founded by Will Smith, the actor. He worked his way up from an intern trying to climb up that ladder to be a producer, but he got stuck. There was no more up to go.
And I quit. I put in my 2-week notice. And they were like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, well, look, I said, I can't tell you faith works, so I'm afraid to try.
The first day of unemployment, he got a job offer from Sony as an executive. Since then, he's had a hand in movies like the Karate Kid remake, Annie, Heaven is for Real. That last one is a faith-based movie starring Greg Kinnear. It came out in 2014.
2014 was the so-called Year of the Bible in film.
This is Paul DeGarabedian. He's the senior media analyst for Comscore. That's a company that keeps track of the media market. He says 2014 is when we started seeing a bunch of faith-based movies pop up, a trend that's been growing.
The movie industry is actually getting behind the idea of creating content for a vastly underserved audience, which is the faith-based audience. And most recently, we've seen it with Miracles from Heaven, which is doing quite well at the box office. It's a very profitable movie.
Miracles from Heaven, which opened about a week ago, is about a little girl with an intestinal disorder. The doctors don't know what's wrong, but her mom, played by Jennifer Garner, doesn't take no for an answer.
She's not lactose intolerant. There's something wrong with our little girl.
Mrs. Beam, you need to calm down.
No, you calm down. You find me another doctor, you run some more tests. I'm not leaving this hospital until I know what's wrong with my daughter.
Both Franklin and DeGarabedian agree, just because there's faith and religion in a movie doesn't mean it's gonna do well.
People go to the movie theater for entertainment.